dip back in the cooler after I kill a 40 this quick. You know what I mean? It's a rarity, but let me get right to it. Look, I remember chilling in the hood park, wishing a fucker would start. Riding around strapped with stripes, earn you a hood start. Made it past the trauma, now we getting to the good part. Shit, even the Prius got a motherfucker push start. I could start.
Most deaf. So, yeah, we just choose a beat. I want to do something where, you know, we meet halfway, like on some, you know, I don't really be doing the fuck shit too much, but I always want to bring like awareness, but still give them a taste of the streets. At the end of the day, kind of like, you know, slap them with the message shot to the liver. You know
I agree. So this is why I think our song should be called Bitches Ain't Shit. Mm-hmm. But that's why we have to be present fathers.
Hey, I like that. So I'm gonna just run through some beats, you know what I mean? And just, you know, my beats, you know my beats, obviously, you know what I'm saying? They're not for everybody, but they for somebody. And when
High Socks and Lo-Fi out now everywhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, so, they are. They're amazing.
Thank you.
Play some slaps, fool. Let me ask you this, because I can't make a beat to save my life.
Yeah.
As a hip hop head, right, and then the fact that you MC, but then you also produce, do you listen to producers like for cues on stuff? Are you inspired by that? What makes you get the right idea to go in and kill shit on the MPC?
I do. I don't study that much no more, but I used to study, like, you know, not even study. I used to bite. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to sound like Madlib. I wanted to sound like so and so, because I knew that if I bite, after so many attempts of trying to bite, it's gonna grow its own legs, and I'm gonna have my own sound. Now it's not biting; it's inspired by Mad, because I can't sound like him. He's too great. You know what I'm saying? But if I try to bite him, it's like a template, and then it's gonna be like ZTG's version of what he wished he sounded like if he was Madlib. You know, you get what I'm saying?
So same thing as a rapper to me.
Right?
Same
Yeah.
shit.
Same thing. Right.
Like you study your favorite rappers.
You study your favorite rappers.
You try to sound like them, and then at a certain point, if you get good enough at it,
you grow your own
sound.
like hybrid sound.
Yeah.
Of, like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people won't admit, but we subconsciously bite. Like, I remember, I don't even like Lil Wayne, but when Lil Wayne was popping, I used to be like, his delivery, I'm like, yo, and a lot of people were doing the Lil Wayne like animated, you know.
For sure.
You know, so I started being like, yo, I don't like Lil Wayne, but I like how he's animated. So or DMX is I remember a lot of raza wanted, I did that shit, but then, you know, it developed into ZTG after me emulating motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? So
I dig it.
It's biting, but it's more like inspiration.
I was gonna say, I think it's more paying homage, because when you're, I guess it would be biting if all you ever did was take from the culture. But like if you're constantly of it and giving back to it, then it's just paying homage.
It's like vague biting, light biting, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, you like, yo, I'm trying to kind of...
What I would say too is the fact that you can admit, like for using Madlib as an example, the fact that you can say, well, Madlib was a huge inspiration, then it's not. Because I feel like biting is like when you go, and this is just my opinion, but it's like when you go like, oh, no, this is me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I have no idea what you're talking
about. Oh, yeah.
Mad who?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know
right.
That's foul.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas if you got like this super gritty, dusty, raw style, and you go like, oh, like Madlib was an inspiration, then you go, oh, okay, I can see how that happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, I get what you're saying. I think we all do that. Like, you emulate your favorites because you grow up a fan of the shit first.
Right.
If you're if you're actually good at it, like I always say that shit about this fool, and I say it like about fools that are really dope. Yeah. Damn, how's that fool so dope? Listen to the people that he likes.
Yeah.
Right. Like you could hear it with M. He's said multiple times how much Master Ace was such an influence to him.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you can hear that.
Right.
Did you grow up listening to like Primo and P-Rock?
Like even like more underground than that. You know what I'm saying? Like super underground. Like I went from Freestyle Fellowship to to dog pound and everything in between. You know what I'm saying? That's my threshold of.
That's fire. That's a hilarious gamut to run right there from freestyle fellowship to dog pound. It's fire.
And everything in between.
And it makes sense. It totally makes sense.
Right.
You're talking like from J Swift to Daz.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yep. As far as like when you jump on shit, the boom bap shit or the trap shit.
I don't really rap on any trap shit.
No, not trap shit, but contemporary.
Oh,
stuff.
okay, yeah.
Contemporary beats.
How do I choose it, or
no? Like what's your preference? Where do you feel most comfortable at?
So I think Forever and a Day, I didn't realize how much I liked sample heavy stuff.
Yeah.
I always listened to it, but I didn't think I could. I'm not even exaggerating to you. I didn't think anybody would want to hear that, from a Mexican fool from Southern California,
right.
You know, from the IE at that. No, they're not gonna want to hear me over shit like that. I just didn't think anybody wanted to hear that.
Right.
So I was always chasing like the contemporary West Coast sound, whatever that was,
right.
From 2003 on. Like
Gotcha.
I was always chasing the contemporary West Coast sound.
Right.
And at a certain point, like I starting with like my series on 40 Ounce Fridays. Well, first we were jacking for beats, and then when my stuff started kind of going viral, I started getting flagged for copyright. So then I was like, I need originals, and I linked up with this fool Merge Beats.
I know Merge. I heard
yeah,
him.
You know Merge. Yeah. Okay, he's out of Bakersfield, right? And he shot me like a 50 pack of beats, and I ran through them. I rapped on almost every single one,
right.
And it was a lot of sample heavy stuff, whatever. And then that was when I kind of started to hone my sound and kind of realized, like, man, I sound good on this shit. Fuck what I think people want to think that they. Let me just make good music.
Right.
So at this point, I don't care, to be honest with you. Like, stylistically, does the music sound good? Can I make a good song out of it?
Yeah.
You know, I think that sample heavy stuff is probably my comfort zone. And like the way we got our project, because this fucking guy, like,
shouts out to Dodger, by the way. Dodger's in the building.
Like A&R.
You want to know how he came to that idea? By not thinking too much.
Yeah. Straight up, like Dodger, we were in it because me and Max are habitual overthinkers, right? Me and Zapata are habitual overthinkers, and Dodger was just literally like smoking some reefer and sitting there with the blunt in his mouth, and he goes, "All right, I got an idea. How about his beats and your raps, and give me something I could fucking promote this?" And I was just like, "All right," and at first I was like, are you sure? Are we gonna? I don't know. And then when I got into the flow state and just went in and started knocking songs out, and we ended up with High Socks and Lo-Fi. Like, to look at it now, I'm like, duh. It's the most 2 + 2 = 4 ass shit there is.
Right.
But he's right. The minute I just stopped overthinking it, what sounds good? Yeah. So to at this point, I don't really care. Like, honestly, in terms of boom bap versus like contemporary 808 skip drum West Coast shit, I don't care, bro. Everything in between, as long as the song sounds good.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the most important thing. How do I get the right idea? Like, if I'm trying to make some turned up, like, party record type stuff, yeah, I'm probably not gonna take an Anita Baker sample and flip it, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, whatever I'm in the mood for, and I think that I've gotten so many shots up in the gym, and I've gotten to the point where I've like honed in on my craft that I can do something in the same session. I just did a session the other day where like I got like some ratchet shit, and then I got like a super lush, soulful sample that I rapped over in the same session. I gotta show you the song. It's called Hood Rat Shit. So, but I did both the same day. And so for me at this point, it's like, bro, what feels good, what sounds good.
Right.
How do I get the thought out? How do I get the complete thought out? If I'm trying to tell introspective story, I might need something a little darker, more sparse, more open space, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If I'm like 15 claws deep and I'm like feeling it and I'm like, nah, we partying tonight, I might need something ratchet with some like crazy 808 on it, whatever the case is.
I feel like contemporary beats, the song writes itself. It's kind of like an analogy, kind of like a hoe ass hyena. You know what I'm saying? She's just easy. You know what I'm saying? A boom bap beat is like, damn, I gotta carve my way through this joint and like find a cadence to it. It's like, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of gotta like, oh, this is no se va a dejar easy. I gotta carve my way through. That's how I feel.
I understand exactly what you're saying, and for me, it's the opposite. Because I understand completely what you're saying. It's very valid. For me, I'm in such a comfortable space when I'm on something like grimy, gritty, and dusty that I'm able to just pop my shit. It's a very comfortable place for me.
Gotcha.
When I get on like the stuff that's more turned up, I got to get out of my own way. I'm saying too much. Let me pull back a little bit. I'm doing too much. So for me, I got to kind of get out the way on those records. You're right. There's like, you don't got to do a lot with it.
Right.
So I be doing too much sometimes. Like I gotta pull back. Like, hold on, let me make sure I ride this motherfucker correctly. Like let me sit in this pocket and sauce it up a little bit because I'm spitting battle raps on a
yeah. You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get in your own way. You being like, this has to be like a lullaby, like a jingle, and I'm doing too much words.
I'm doing way too
words.
much. Yeah, I'm doing way too much. So for me, that's what I've had to like get better at, and I feel like I'm in a great place now with that, where I can kind of get out of my own way and be like, hey, let's have fun.
Right.
So because ultimately, like, hip hop is started with a party in a park, right? So it's like, how could you not want to have fun with it?
Gotcha.
You know. So I think that's like an integral part of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, like from the super gritty, grimy, boom bappy stuff, you know, to the more polished, you know, make 1,001s like rain from the ceiling. To me, it's all time and place.
Right. No, I get
if I'm in it, like I've always said, I've used this analogy. I don't want to hear a Mortal Technique Dance with the Devil at 1:30 in the morning if I'm on Sunset.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And we got 5 bottles in a section. I don't want to hear that. Right? It's a classic record and everything like that. If you put that shit on, bro, oh, Yahweh, what the fuck is this deal? We were having a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, whereas vice versa, if it's like 8 in the morning and I'm like driving to this session right
with
here,
coffee or something,
and I got coffee and I got my pen and I'm like in the car, yeah, bro, I'm not trying to hear like probably like a Scott Storch record.
Yeah.
As an example.
Yeah, when it's a gloomy, rainy day, and
I
you
want to
hear
some Dilla.
some Mobb Deep maybe.
I want to hear some Mobb Deep.
I mean?
I want to hear some Dilla. I want to hear, something like that. Yeah, of course.
I get you.
Yeah, you're full with it, bro.
Yeah.
You're kind of good at this shit. I don't know if anybody ever told you that. You might have like a future in production, bro. I don't know. Very humbly and respectfully. I don't know, you know.
Thank you, man.
You might know something.
Yeah. You know what? I lose sense. You know, I be in here and I'm like, man, all these. I wake up sometimes. I play. I'm like, man, these shits are all trash. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you got the right person in here that's like, man, that shit crazy. And then it just like, oh shit, that shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
You told me.
Hold on, I think I already did. I got a few pieces for you, Haz. I know you be messing with the fashion and stuff like that.
I pull up and he's bearing gifts.
You know what I'm saying? So I got the Den Davis bucket, boom bow.
Super fire.
You know, that's the Ben Davis, but with the bait monkey and some bootleg
Super fire
shit that I did. The Zapata the Ghost.
Yeah, I was gonna
joint.
say quietly, this man right here has really his brand. At Zapata the Ghost, the brand, this gentleman has very quietly curated the hell out his brand.
Yes,
Super
sir.
fire.
So,
Super fire piece. Good looking out, Brody.
I got and not everybody gonna get this treatment just because Has my dude, and I know he fuck with the gear. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, Brody.
So I got the ODB on the scorecard, like the Bo Jackson.
Super fire. Shout out to Sweet Baby Jesus.
The Den Davis, the
Yes,
reverse
sir.
version. This is like that, but reverse. It got the Ben Davis monkey
Super
with
fire.
the bait background. The
Nothing but
Zapata the
flamas,
Ghost.
doggy.
The Zapata the Ghost.
My favorite logo.
You know what I'm saying? The
my
logo.
Y'all rappers got to step your game up. This is a logo right here.
Yes, sir.
This is fire.
And then the jumpsuit. It got the sweats with the.
Oh damn! I didn't even.
Yeah. It's a little jumpsuit. You know
Good
what I mean?
looking out, bro.
Yeah. It's the jumpsuit. Hold on. Let me bring it out with the motherfucking sweats. The vintage wash. It's that vintage wash. So we got the ZTG and it got the ZTG
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
that's
wrist.
fire,
so when
dog,
you're
yeah.
holding the mic, you got the cuete right there. Boom, bow. And then this one got the cuete on the little side type ish.
It's the details.
You know it's the it'll tell you it's the details.
Hey, but I also like how soft this shit feels.
Yeah, it's the vintage watch. This is like this fashion shit.
I know I'm getting older because I'm over here dressing for comfort, but I
Yeah.
still want to be fly. So
Yeah.
shout out Zapata the Ghost for real, man. Hilltop
def.
Sessions.
Most def. So like I said, man, it's just I know you be doing the low shit and all that
Thank
type
you,
of
Brody.
stuff.
Yeah,
So,
you know what's funny about that is like it's one thing that we've always every time we bump into each other like at shows and whatnot.
Right.
I'm always like, hey, fool, I like them boots.
Yeah.
Right, fool, I like those pants right
Right,
there.
right,
A lot of
right.
fools like I feel like probably the most besides knowledge, the element that gets forgotten about in hip hop is fashion. Like
100%.
hip hop was a lifestyle, and it was from the way you spoke, the way you walked, to the way you dressed.
Right.
And a lot of fools be like, "Oh, I keep that shit real hip hop," and they real dusty. And I don't know, dog.
Right.
I just feel like when I was coming up, it was supposed to be about how fly you were and the way you dressed and the way you freaked in. And it didn't mean that you had to be off the rack with everything.
Yeah.
But you had to have some sauce to your.
You had to have, if
actual style.
I say like, you have to dress for the position you want, right? So if you want to be a rapper, you have to dress like a rapper. You want to entertain, then you got to look. I'm not saying you got to look like a clown, but you have to have something that when the watcher looks at you, it's like, damn, you look admirable. Like, I don't even know how to put something together like that.
The ladies want to freak you and the fellas want to be you. That's what it comes down to.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what it comes down to. So like I always feel like I see a lot of fools and like in the name of real hip hop, they look real dusty. I always say that.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like for real, hip hop, if it's a way of life and it's how you walk, talk, and even dress.
Right.
Like, you know, to take it all the way back to like Run DMC, like Run DMC with no laces in their shell toes, like my Adidas, and stepping out with, they had leather jumpsuits. You know what I'm saying? With the top hats and the whole, it was like, this was streetwear before they had a name for it.
Yeah.
And yet, and still, like I said, you'll have fools out here dressing real dusty in the name of quote unquote real hip hop.
Right.
We keep that shit underground, dog. It looks like you got dressed underground with no light and no mirror, homie.
Or when motherfuckers is like, I'm gonna just wear a t-shirt with a baseball cap and just some jeans, and I'm gonna blow. I'm not saying that that's not possible,
Right.
But it's
Well, I think too sometimes it is about authenticity to yourself, and some people are just they have real bland personalities,
Right.
So they can't, like, their eyes can't see how that piece goes with that piece, or that piece might go with that piece.
if you want people to be interested, you got to look interesting, right?
Straight up, that's a bar.
Yeah.
I think so, and I again, it has nothing to do with like, you know, certain designer labels or prestige brands. It can, if that's what you're about, and that's the thing that you, don't get me wrong, it absolutely can. Rakim was wearing Gucci velour suits in '88.
Of course.
So it can be that. It's not that it can't. But also I think that on the flip side, I think some fools be walking out the house looking like $3,000 worth of bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got it off the mannequin at fucking Nordstrom's.
The clothes is wearing them. They're not
Wearing the clothes. Right. And it should always be that the man makes the clothes or the woman makes the clothes. It should never be the clothes making you.
Nah.
And that's where like fashion and style to me like meet. And that's where like, if you're actually a stylish motherfucker, like that's where it comes in at.
And not to knock motherfuckers, but not everybody has it.
No,
It's
there's
something that's-
genuine swagger.
Yeah,
It's innate. You either have it or you
I'm
don't.
not mad at people that try their hardest, but style is something you're born with. It's hard to learn it. You can learn it. I don't know if you can learn it, but most motherfuckers that are stylists, they just got it. They pull
Yeah,
up,
you either-
they
yeah.
know how to throw some stuff on, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So not to knock the motherfuckers that are trying and the motherfuckers that just got
No,
it.
but that's where, to me, that's where there's levels to it, and
Yeah.
that's where you are either like an innovator and a trailblazer or a follower.
right.
What did that one Supreme Court justice say? Like they asked him for a definition on what pornography was, and he said, I don't know if I could define it, but I could tell you when I see it. Right? So it's like, what's style? What's that sauce? What's that swagger? I don't know if I could put it into a concise definition, but I could tell you
When I see it, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Yeah, man. Hilltop session.
Yeah,
baby.
Hilltop session. Shouts out to Leland.
Shout out Leland in the back. Look, y'all gotta listen. Y'all seen it here first, okay? They ain't even done yet. You can't get these yet.
Nah.
All right? You can't fucking get these yet. Shout out my man Leland, like a true innovator in the game. Okay? Y'all don't know nothing about this, but you're going to.
It's coming soon.
Remember, you seen it here first. Hilltop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you think you're all bad because you don't use a pen and a pad or what?
Do you remember the movie Fade to Black?
I don't think I've
So
ever seen it.
Jay-Z, when he did the Black album, he put out like a full movie. It was like a.
I remember that.
It was like a
I
documentary,
just
but it
don't
was
think I
in
saw it.
theaters.
Yeah.
And I was watching this thing like amazed, like this fool don't write nothing down. And so I was inspired by it. You were talking earlier about like, biting, whatever.
Right.
And like for me, that was my form of biting.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah. Like, let me
oh,
do
I
what he
could do
does.
that. I could do that, because I knew I could because I was already halfway doing it.
Right.
So
right.
then I just like, it was shots in the gym. Then like obviously when I turned 18, like within a few months of me turning 18, I went to the county jail. So then I was writing raps, like in jail, I would write raps, but it was a lot going on. So I wasn't like focusing on my craft like that, you know what I'm saying? But like I would write rhymes here and there, and I had like a little book of rhymes. And then I came home and I tried to spit them, but then like, it was like, well, I wrote all these raps in here and I don't really know what beat to put these to, right? Then I went away again, and when I did my prison term, same thing. I would have raps, but like, I would have like whole songs that I had like written in there, and I would like perform them like beating on the bunk, rapping, and like, we would have late nights on the tier. And then, HAZERD, rap that one, bro. Like I'll be taking requests, And
And you had joints memorized.
yeah, I had joints memorized.
crazy.
So like my thing was like I've kind of been doing it. When I finally came home and I was able to get into a studio where all you got to do is push record on Pro Tools.
Right.
I don't got to write nothing down. It had nothing. It has nothing. I don't even, at this point, I don't even try to flex that shit.
Nah.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna tell you why though.
In the beginning, I could see how it was a flex, but you've been doing it so long that it's just second nature. It's just how I do it.
And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think a lot of people get the shit twisted with like, okay, I've eliminated the physical process of writing on a piece of paper.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I'm just going into the booth and like magically freestyling these words. There's thought and effort put into this.
You writing in your brain, of
So
course.
for me, what I dislike is like a lot of I call them the punch-in rappers.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
not
even
that,
write nothing down.
Nah,
and
it's
they
not
just
that.
punching in a bar
That's
at a
different.
time.
That's
and
just freestyling.
And it sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And you can hear the shit clipping after every bar,
Yeah,
and you can hear and it's terrible. So for me, I'm like, no, there's thought and effort put into this. I've eliminated the physical
Pen and the
process.
pad. Yeah.
You know what
Your
I
brain
tell
is the pen and the pad.
Yeah.
And I have a terrible memory. But one day I was in the studio with Brownsville. I gave the pens and the pads. I didn't have a pen and a pad. So I said, you know what? Let me write down the first 4 bars in my head. And let me try it. First 4 bars turned into 6, 8. I wrote the whole 16 in my head. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
But my whole life, I said, nah, my memories, I always tell people my memory is terrible. It's terrible. I could never do it. And then out of necessity, I did it once. My only problem is when I had to spit it without the thing, my mouth couldn't keep up with does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I had them memorized, but my mouth couldn't, so I had to eventually write them down. But it just comes to show that out of necessity, I was able to actually do it. You know what I'm saying? So
Well-
I know what you're saying when you. It's not like you freestyle. You actually writing. You etching it down in your brain.
Yeah, necessity is the mother of all creation, right?
Exactly.
Mother of invention, right? My boy Dodger always gives me shit about the Versace glasses. I started wearing them because literally for me, like I said, it's a chalkboard in my brain. So my eyes roll back when I'm recording.
shit.
And a lot of fools started going like, "Oh, that fool HAZERD. He went from 40s to like to drugs. Like he's on a gang of ecstasy." And I'm like, "No, I'm literally. That's how I remember my raps."
Right,
so I
right.
just started wearing the glasses because my eyes roll back.
That makes sense because you're looking back into your motherboard.
Yeah, I'm literally looking back in my brain.
Yeah.
So like a lot of fools started saying like, "Damn, how do you know what I'm saying?"
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, because it's back there somewhere." There's a certain amount of naturalness, if that's a word. It just sounds more natural
No, it does, 100%.
when you're not reading it off of paper. Because what I used to have to do too is like, I hated the way it sounded when I read it off of paper.
When
So
when you memorize it, you could freak it. You could add like little boom, boom. You know what I mean?
Because I would have a perfect take off the paper, and I'd be like, I got to do it again, and they would say, "Why? You didn't mess up a single
sound
word."
like I read-
Sounds
like-
like I read it.
Yeah. Now you can hear that.
It sounds like I read it.
You can hear it. You can hear it. And I tell motherfuckers advice. I said, listen, it sounds like you're reading it. Like you literally, I can tell you're reading it. You know what I'm saying? So when you can add acting to your like good vocals, or you're acting with your voice, not with your face, but with your voice. When you could be like, you ask a question in your rap and you actually sound like you asking a question.
You're more expressive with it.
You're more expressive, so the people that are listening to it are more receptive. Like, oh shit, that shit sound like he really real with it.
What I tell people is, record it into GarageBand on your phone. This way you have a demo of it. Then when you go to the studio, you should have that shit cold memorized.
That's the best way.
If you're reading raps off of whatever in the lab, and you've had those raps for like a week or whatever, you're lazy, bro. There's no excuse. You should at some point have some kind of a demo version, play it for yourself, completely memorize it cold, and go into your big studio or whatever, and you should be able to do that. Or if you're blessed and you're able to go back into the studio twice, record it in a big studio, reading it, whatever.
Take it back home, memorize
commit that
it,
motherfucker, and bring it back.
If I could start over and give myself advice, that would be the advice that I would give.
Yeah.
But it's just so I didn't know about that till later, so I already had a certain formula, so I just stuck to it and it worked. You know what I'm saying? But then once I realized, like, yo, if you memorize it, you could freak it with swag, and it's almost like a freestyle has a looseness to it. It's almost like a freestyle, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? You know how freestylers, they like a pocket, and you get a pocket that you can't get from nowhere else because it's kind of natural. It's the same thing when you memorize it. You can boom, 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 get that same that same spirit from it.
For the joint, I heard un cigarrito y un café, and I felt like shout out to my boy Tony G, right? When you meet like those older Cuban gentlemen, right? They done seen some shit. Maybe they lived through the Castro regime, whatever, right?
Usually older Cuban men have strong coffee from Cuba.
Strong coffee, right? They smoking frajos and they, whatever, right? For me, I was never a cigarette smoker, but smoke a bleezy, right?
Yeah.
So, but I heard that and it gave me that vibe of like that older Cuban gentleman.
Facts. You could smell coffee when the hook come off, and it's
so
cigs.
It gave me that vibe, and I was thinking of Tony G. I've been blessed to sit in the Hennessy Lounge with him, which is like, which is a vibe in and of itself, right? Like, Hilltop sessions, though, y'all, you doing your shit, bro.
Yeah.
So, like conversations with that fool are really dope because like he's literally of the first generation of hip hop.
Yeah.
Right? He has stories from when he lived in New York.
Bro.
He has stories from when he first moved to LA and started, like literally.
I was there when he started. I lived next to the original KDAY, first radio station to play hip hop 24/7. He worked there.
He was an original mixmaster there, and he's got stories about Radiotron.
Yeah,
he's got stories. He booked Ice-T for his first show in LA.
He is a founding father
of hip hop.
Hip hop in the West Coast.
On the West Coast. Yeah. So if you're talking about like
Un cafecito y un...
Coke LaRock and Kool Herc on the East
Yeah.
Coast.
Yep.
Tony G is
Tony
that on the
G,
West
yep,
Coast,
yep.
right? And so
100%.
when I heard the sample, it reminded me of conversations
Facts.
I've had with him and the knowledge that he's kind of blessed me with,
Right.
right? I always say this when it comes to like responsibility and lyrics. I feel like the only responsibility I have is to be honest.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking certain, like a lot of people will tell me like, yo, Haz, like you're a thoughtful dude. Like, why you go so hard on some of the street stuff?
Yeah.
And I tell them like, I'm not trying to glorify it. It's the truth.
Yeah.
So I need people to understand that sometimes the reality is an ugly truth. So if I speak on something, it's not because I'm trying to be like, I'm this big bad gangster. I'm trying to say I'm a flawed individual who's lived the past and who's made mistakes. Look at me now. I've come from it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm for better or worse, I'm a product of it. So, and a lot of times at this point in my life, blessed enough to say I'm better for it. So I'm at that place in my life where I'm young enough to have OGs that I look up to, and I'm blessed that they're still here to give me knowledge. And I'm also getting to a place where some of the younger cats are asking me questions.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate enough that they care enough about my opinion.
Dope.
So I feel like I'm in that weird middle ground, but it's a blessing.
It's not a weird middle ground. It's a
middle ground nonetheless.
It feels weird to you, but it's mad normal.
Right. So like part of me approaching this record, and I'll keep it a buck with you, it has a lot to do with the fact that you made the beat.
Right.
I got a great amount of respect and deference for the way that you've approached your artistry,
Right.
and the way that you've tried to truly become a better, the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And elevate, beyond our circumstances that we both kind of grew up in.
Yeah.
And I think it's inspiring to see. So for me, like, I feel like I owe you that much. Like when I come in on here, you know what I'm saying? I really feel that way. I feel like, I can't just come in here and pop random punchlines and whatever sounds good. No, I'm trying to like give some people some food.
Yeah.
So like, for me, that was when I first heard the sample. I'm like, it sounds like an old Cuban man playing dominoes in
That
Miami.
is a great way to look at that track.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm not in that metaphor.
Like in the video, there's gonna be dominoes at some point.
And I'm not in that metaphor. I am not the 5-year-old child watching them play. I'm probably like, the person in the middle of the domino players and that 5-year-old child.
Ew.
I'm the one like standing on a porch making sure shit is cool.
Yeah.
So that my OGs can play the dominoes,
right,
faithfully, and that so that the youngsters can run around the yard and have fun.
Right.
Long guns in the guitar case. Introduce you to the little homies like I'm Scarface. I accepted all fades, hard-headed in all ways. But there's layers to a homie like you serving parfaits. Caught a court case or 3. I was doing me. Originally on some gangster shit like I'm Schoolie D. Speaking of Schoolie D, I innovated sound. I'm crispy over dusty boom bap plus a Vato Brown. Long guns in the guitar case. Introduce you to the little homies like I'm Scarface. I accepted all fades, hard-headed in all ways while you... Long guns in the guitar case. Introduce you to the little homies like I'm Scarface. I accepted all fades, hard-headed in all ways. There was layers to a vodka like I'm serving parfaits. I caught a court case of 3. I was doing me. Originally on some gangster shit like I'm Schoolie D. Speaking of Schoolie D, originated sound. I'm crispy over dusty boom bap plus a Vato Brown. Now how a Vato sound? Leaning in the pocket. I can speak you through my process and you still not leeching off it. Lyrically, I'm 101. You speaking to a prophet. I just had a distribution and I'm keeping on my profit. Leaping on my rocket, sitting in an orbit. I wear the pants, I wear the pants in my relationship.